Welcome to the Yessy's Designs Knitting Podcast, episode 23. I am so happy that you guys are here. If this is the first time that you are watching one of my podcasts, my name is Yessy. I am the maker and the designer behind Yessy's Designs. And on this knitting podcast, I share obviously everything knitting, all the knitting that has happened since you saw me in the last episode. And if you have been here before, I'm so happy that you're here again. I hope that you enjoy this episode that my son and I have put together. Now, it has been a lot has happened since the last time I recorded. A lot of life has happened. And today I'm recording later that I usually record in the day and on the weekend. Today is February 15th, and this episode I am scheduled to have it live on the podcast on February 24th. It's a Saturday. We are expecting a big snowstorm today, and it is very cloudy. It is very cold. I think we are in like the 20s. Today it's really cold. We did volunteer work just before I started recording, and it was pretty cold. We have had quite a few snowstorms, ice storms. So needless to say, we have been spending a lot of time inside. The kids have not even been able, or myself, to play outside in the snow because like the last time what happened is that we had the ice storm, and then we had a snowstorm, and then it was a freezing rain. So everything is very white outside and looks absolutely beautiful, but it's not even fluffy snow. It's just a block of ice. It's just ice everywhere, like an ice rink. So for pictures that I had to take a few days ago for a pattern that is going to be coming soon, I fell quite a few times, and thankfully I did not hurt myself because I had a big rock in front of me, and that was the part that was making me a little bit afraid. But anyway, after I saw the pictures, I'm like, okay, this is as good as it's going to get, because for the looks of it, we are not going to be able to take pictures outside in the near future. So I'm looking forward to share that pattern with you on the next episode. Right now, that pattern, it's ready. I mean, the piece is ready, and I'm writing the pattern. So this coming week, I'm just gonna in the first few days of next week, I'm gonna be taking a look at everything that is written, making sure that everything is included. I have to put the yarn calculations, and I think a couple more measurements, and just make sure that everything is clear and easy to understand, that all the details are there, and then I'm going to send it to my tech editor. So when she has a chance to take a look at it and I get it back, I take a final look of it. If there is anything that I have to adjust, I'll work on that, and then soon after that, I'll give you the date of the release. So I am hoping that between this episode and the next episode, it's gonna be ready. So stay tuned. I'll show that next time. So on today's episode, I'm gonna share with you finished pieces. I have, I think, just one WIP. I have 4 finished pieces, including a new pattern. I'm gonna talk about that towards the end of the episode. But if you cannot wait, the name of the pattern is the Canterbury Cowl, and it is already ready for you. It's on my website and Etsy and Ravelry. So let me share some other things before, so I can focus all the attention to this new pattern. And I hope that you guys love it, because I am so in love with it and I love working on it. So before I start sharing all the knitting things, I'm gonna share with you what I am wearing today. So a few, I want to say maybe a couple of falls ago, I got a kit from We Are Knitters, the emerald cardigan. So I got the kit and I made myself an emerald cardigan. It's beautiful. I'm going to show you here pictures with the final pictures of this piece that I took at the time. and I love it. The yarn is so pretty. It has some sparkle. It's like the most beautiful, like antique rose, I want to say. That's what the color looks like. Super nice. I made it with extra long sleeves. I just wanted to be so cozy. It's a long piece. So I used all the yarn that was included in the kit. I had enough to adjust the length of the sleeves and to adjust the length of the body as well. So this is a beautiful cardigan. This is one of the patterns that I would like to work on again, but as always, you want to make all the things and we don't have all the time. But it was very easy to make. So you work on the front on one piece, you work on the back, that's another piece, and then you work on the sleeves separately. Those are two other different pieces. And then, oh, this is a drop shoulder. Then you attach the front with the back, and then you attach the sleeves. Then you close the sleeves. You work on this pretty piece. I forgot now if I work on this at the end. I think it was at the end after all the pieces were grafted together. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I haven't been using it too much. I think because the yarn is so delicate looking, and I'm always doing so many things. I don't think I have used it enough, and I think that has to change. I love it. It's oversized, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. Okay, so that is what I am wearing today. And because today is one of those days where my mind is in so many places, so many things have to be done at home. And after I finish recording, I have to do so many things. I had to write everything on my notebook. This is the notebook that I use to write my notes for the podcast. Sometimes I just have it on my table here at the studio because, okay, I know what I'm talking about. I just have like bullet points. But this time I really wrote a lot of things because I just didn't want to miss a thing. Everybody that knows me really well, they know that I love notebooks. I love everything that is paper. I love pens, pencils, everything that is stationery. I absolutely love. So I saw this notebook not too long ago, a few months ago, at one of the local shops, and I just couldn't. Let me show you. I just couldn't leave it there. I had to bring it with me. So this is where I write all the notes for the podcast, and everything is right here. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at the notebook, just making sure that I did not miss anything. So I talked about what I'm wearing. There was a lot of knitting happening, again, because we had so many storms. We had to be inside. We had a lot of warnings since the last time I saw you. So, again, being inside allowed me, and the days were very cozy, very quiet. It allowed me to knit a little more than usual, I would say. My kids are older. We still do many things as a family. So we played a lot of games. A few times we had friends over and we would play games and we would cook and we enjoyed a lot of good times with friends. Sometimes when I talk about this, I have messages on my Instagram saying, okay, because sometimes I share in my stories if we are playing something, and I share the things that I really really love and that I would recommend. So one of the games is called Blockers. We were introduced to this game when we went to our trip to Canada last year, and one of our friends had this game. We haven't seen it before, so we played it. We loved it. So they gave us one as a gift. We gave one as a gift, and we just love playing it. So we played a lot of that. We played another game that a friend of ours gave us in the first few weeks of COVID. He sent it to the kids, and it's one of the best games that we have played. It's very funny. It's called Kids Say Absurdities, and we just have the best time playing that thing. There is a lot of nonsense, a lot of silliness in the game, a lot of laughs. So we played a lot of that, just the four of us, or when friends came over. Some of our friends, they also brought games that we have not played before. So It was cozy, it was nice, there was a lot of downtime, and again, there was a lot of knitting time. I also got together with one of my friends and we knit together. Well, I knit and she crochet and my daughter crochet. So there were a lot of moments like that. So for this episode, I have three, three finished pieces in fourth, including the new pattern that you're gonna see. So let me go with let me share with you the first finished piece. So this is something that I was sharing on my Instagram in the stories. I think I put a post about it. And this afternoon or tomorrow, I'm gonna try to take final pictures of my daughter wearing her Xavier cowl. So this is a pattern that was released last year. And I made for my husband, if just in case you haven't been here before or that you haven't watched the episodes that far back, I made it for my husband for as an anniversary present. That was one of the presents. But I made it for him, same pattern, but in a cowl, in a regular cowl. Now my son saw it and he wanted one, but my son, he likes more the infinity cowls like this one. So I made him one, and after I made it, I just loved it so much, and he loved wearing it, and he looked so cool in it. So I used that infinity cowl with this pattern as the pattern release. So that is the Xavier cowl. I have not made my husband a second one because now, well, since he saw my son wearing that one, he wanted the same style for himself, and I have not made it. It's still on my list as there are so many other patterns that I would like to work on and then I want to make. So I haven't made him a second one. But my daughter, she said, I really wanted. At the time I had this yarn, the main color, which she does the one. She just came here to the studio and she started looking at what I had. And she said, okay, I want this and I want all of these. So these are partial skeins from a previous project that I worked with Hobbii. So I had partial skeins left and I used them for this, for her version of the Xavier cowl. And these look so pretty on. So yesterday I finished it and she tried it on and it is so, so cute. So if you're not familiar with the Xavier cowl, this is a piece that you work in a tube. You knit it from beginning to end, from top to bottom, all the way in a tube, and at the end, you graft it together in a tube. So this is my first finished piece, and she loves it. So now she wants the beanie to go with it. So what I'm thinking is, well, when I released the Xavier cowl, I already had the draft for the beanie, and I made a beanie for my husband. So he got the beanie and the cowl. But I have to use not I have to, I want to use the same yarn that I use for the pattern release, which is also one of the Hobbie's yarn, and I have the yarn. I just have, again, to put myself together, make the beanie that I already have written in a pattern, and do all the fun stuff, the final pictures, the measurements, the writing the pattern down. So it has to be done. It has to be done. So that's finished piece number one. The second piece that I finished is this Sophie shawl. So if you are a knitter or if you follow quite a few knitters, you know that the Sophie shawl has been a thing for a while. I have made so many Sophie shawls, and some people, they are tired of seeing this pattern. And the thing is that it is such a pretty piece. I'm gonna share also in here some pictures of me wearing it, and it is a delight to make. It's easy to make. It's one of those pieces that maybe if you are out and about, you can bring with you and work on it anywhere. You're not gonna lose it's easy to memorize. So, and I love the shape of it. I love the look of it. So the pattern it's a pattern from Petite Knit. It's a pattern that comes in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. I have not made a I have not made a small size. I have made medium and I have made large. This is a size medium, and the yarn is from Darngo Yarn. It's one of the subscription boxes that they send me, I believe, for the month of September. So it's a silk, recycled silk yarn. The colorway is so pretty. It looks so beautiful on. It feels really, really nice. And I love working on it. I have loved working on every single Sophie shawl that I have made. So the thing with the Sophie shawl is that sometimes I mean, it's so easy also to choose what you want for it. So you can either have the same colorway, like let's say one skein of yarn if you want to make the small size. Sometimes, depending of course the yardage, you can make a medium size. So you just need, let's say, one skein to make a Sophie shawl. But if you have partial skeins, you have a little bit of these and a lot of that, then you can make a medium size. You can add stripes to it. That's what I have done with a lot of my Sophie shawls. So there are partial skeins that are here and there. And again, if you're a knitter, you know that there are a lot of patterns where you can just use your partial skeins of yarn. I have a lot of patterns, accessories where you can use partial skeins. So it's not like, I don't know what I want to make with this yarn, with this, let's say, leftover yarn, which I don't really like to call it like that. It's just partial skeins from previous projects. It's not that I'm just going to use them for Sophie shawls because I don't know what else to do with it. So that's not the case. There are many patterns that can use those partial skeins, and I have a big basket here that is full of yarn for what I'm thinking is going to be another Cozy Memories blanket in worsted weight. So this pattern, I think it's DK, what they call for, but you can use any. I mean, I have used DK, I have used worsted. I mean, you can, once you get to see the pattern, you know how you can adjust it. Let's say that. So you can use, in my opinion, any yarns, bulky, super bulky. You just have to be mindful where to stop the increases and when do you want to start the decreases. So that's an easy thing to do. So what I like about this pattern is just how relaxing it feels to make it. And again, I just love the shape. I love wearing shawls. I don't have that many. And I mean, actually, well, I don't have that many. I don't have that many shawls that I have made for myself. And these small ones are really nice for, if you are inside a restaurant, if you are at the movie theater. It's really nice to wear it, and it looks very, very fancy on. So I love just to up my look of the day with Sophie shawl. And also because I'm also a maker in the sense that I also do markets. Sophie shawls are very liked by customers, all ages. There are girls that have had it, their moms, grandmas. All ages have liked the look of it. Husbands, and especially in the last couple of markets that I had, a lot of husbands were getting these shawls for their wives, and it was very nice to see. So it's one of the patterns that I think I'm gonna keep making. I have made it for, I think since the pattern came out. Again, I don't know how many I have made. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be tired of making it. So far, I am not. It's not, again, it's not like I make Sophie shawl after Sophie shawl after Sophie shawl. It's not like that. It's just something that I choose to work on sometimes, in between writing patterns, or, when something takes a lot of me. I choose to have a pattern that is very relaxing on the side. So this was the pattern that I had on my needles when I was working on the new pattern that you're gonna see later. That is released today. So the next finished piece that I have is the Magnolia beanie. This is a beanie that I made for future markets. So I got quite a few skeins of this yarn from Hobbii. This is Daily Stitch Wool Blend Tweed. It's a beautiful neutral color, and it has these speckles of beige and browns and blacks or dark brown. I see blacks and dark browns. So it's a very nice neutral tone, and the yarn is super, super soft. This is, let me check, 80% acrylic and 15% wool and 5% viscose. Super soft. This Magnolia beanie feels so squishy. So from this, with this yarn, I'm planning to make mostly Magnolia beanies. Maybe there is gonna be a Magdalena beanie being made in there. And let's see. So again, for markets, the Magnolia beanies are always, always loved. So when it's a market that I have been attending more than once, and people has attended that market more than once, it's common for me to see that they are wearing one of the beanies, and the most that I see is the Magnolia. So far, what I'm bringing to my markets this year is this Magnolia, most likely in just this colorway. So I'm gonna finish with all the skeins that I got of Daily Stitch in that for the Magnolia or for the Magdalena, maybe. And then let's see what happens, what else gets made. So I'm starting with that for markets, and I will keep you updated on the next ones that get to be made. And I think that's it for, let me check, that's it for WIPS. Oh no, sorry, for finished pieces. Now, as for WIPS, I have one that I am not gonna show you yet. I'll show you that on the next episode because I'm still trying to get the hang of it. So I am making my first pair of socks. I started making one sock back in the day when I first started knitting, and I don't think I never made it to the heel. And I don't remember exactly what. I just never made another or tried to start another pair of socks after that one. And I don't know, I think it's silly. I have been intimidated of the heel part. And I don't know, I think I just, in the back of my mind, I just put it off that maybe I don't need to make socks, or that's not my thing. I don't know. But I don't know, in the last few months, I have been seeing so many socks being made. So there are a few knitters that I follow and podcasts that I like to watch. So, for example, The Crazy Sock Lady, that's one of my favorite podcasts. And I don't know, there was something at some point that is like, let's go and let's make it. Let's make it. You cannot just put it off because you are intimidated of how the heel looks. So I started, well, and I told also, this is a little bit of a backstory. I met Victoria from Vita Lifestyle a few years ago. And I told her not too long ago that when I made my first pair of socks, I was going to use her yarn, that was going to be my first. So I got her yarn, and I will show you that in the next episode. So please be patient. I got her yarn, and I already had, so more than a year ago, I don't know exactly when, but more than that, I got a pair of shorties for socks. So I obviously was thinking that I'm intimidated by it, but like at some point I'm gonna make it. So I got the needles needed for the socks. And anyway, so I cast on last week, I think, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I cast on with the shorties. I was maybe on round 3 when my hands were not happy. My hands did not like the pair of shorties, and I didn't have like a longer needle for the socks where I could use the magic loop. So I place an order. Days later, I get my order in the mail for the needles. And okay, let's start from the beginning. Well, I did not like the magic loop method. Now, remember that this is the first time that I am making socks. So don't quote me on anything yet. I'm experimenting. I'm trying to find out what is my preferred method. And so at this point, and I got a pattern from Petit Knit. So I'll show you that next time. So I was doing that, and I don't know, I didn't like the flow of the magic loop. So I don't know, I just put it aside for a few days. And then I started again. I mean, I continued with the magic loop, and I'm like, no, like, I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it. So I frogged the couple rows. It was very little. I wasn't even done with the ribbing. And I'm like, let me give the shorties another try. So I gave shorties another try, and last night I think I found the position where I kind of timed it. I worked on them for maybe an hour, and I just wanted to see, is this sock gonna take, like, how long? Most likely, is it gonna take weeks to make one, or I don't know. I just wanted. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to see the flow of making my first pair of socks. So I need to see all of that because I got so excited when I placed the order with Victoria from Vita Lifestyle that soon after that I got more sock kits, and I'll show you that next time. So most likely the next episode is going to be mostly about socks and me telling you my experience with it. Obviously, I'm going to show to you what I have made, but last night I was like, okay, I think we are getting somewhere. I think I can do this. So far, I'm going to continue with the shorties, which I am very happy about because I didn't want to, I don't know, the flow of the magic loop. Again, I was not feeling it. Now, who knows? One, I become familiar, which I hope at some point I tell you I am super familiar with making a pair of socks that look like socks and that we can wear. And then I can say, okay, let me give them another try. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. But that's my whip, and I'll show you that that one next time. So again, the whips that I had from the previous time, I finished them, and so that's why mostly today you saw finished pieces. Okay, so let's go with the Canterbury Cowl. So as always, there is like a story that goes with my patterns, right? I think if you have been following me for a while on, Instagram, for example, or when you see me talking in the podcast, there is always some story. And I think for me, that's important. Again, I think I have mentioned that before on the podcast. If not, I have expressed it when talking to others. I cannot work on a pattern that I am designing just because I wanted to use these and these techniques. To me, it has to mean something. I need to have that extra meaning to a pattern that, again, it is just a meaning for me. It's something that I let you know, of course, what is the inspiration behind a piece. And hopefully, when you're working on it, you are going to maybe understand a little bit more why the pattern looks like this. Okay, so for this pattern, I had my husband in mind. Now, this is one of the anniversary presents that I gave him this year. For the last few years, I try to knit him something, and he's a tricky one to knit to. Now he appreciates, he loves, he supports, he likes, he comments, he likes everything. But when it's time for him to wear it, I need to be very mindful of, okay, what fibers is he going to enjoy? Now, of course, it's winter and it is cold outside, but when you are out and about with a, who knows how many layers you're wearing, and then you have a coat, and then you have a scarf or a beanie or something, and I mean, you need to be able to have it on for a while, right? So for him, I chose a yarn from Blue Sky Fibers. Now, I have been a maker with Blue Sky Fibers for a few years, and they kindly send me sweater yarn. This is the feature yarn for the month of February sweater. So the yarn, and I'm gonna add pictures through and videos through the whole time that I am talking about it. So I'm not gonna say, oh, now you see a picture. You're gonna see pictures and videos as I talk. So this yarn is it's a cotton blend, and it is absolutely beautiful, super soft. So this is one of the colorways that I got, and this is 160 yards, 55% superwash wool, and 45% certified organic cotton. So when you have a cotton blend yarn, sometimes you don't know how it's gonna go, and that's one of the things that I was looking forward to try. How's the stitch definition? How is the piece gonna hold up? So I work on this piece for many weeks before I put everything together for the pattern release, because I needed him also to wear it. I blocked it, I washed it. I needed to know how, again, how this piece would hold up since it has cotton in it. Also, I wanted to see if it was warm enough in this type of weather. So at the beginning, I said, okay, a cowl, it's gonna be a cowl. He doesn't like wearing scarves. He wants that infinity cowl that I was talking to you about before. But I said, you know what? I am gonna keep that infinity style of the cowl for that part. But I want him to wear a cowl. Something, he goes to the city, he works in New York, so he drives, he takes the train, he has to walk in the city. So I needed something that he will be comfortable wearing. When he's in New York, he doesn't have the car there. So there is no, okay, I'm gonna put it in the seat because I'm hot enough already or warm enough. So I needed something that he could keep. So I chose a Mobius style of the cowl. So I knew I wanted that from the beginning, that style. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's making this piece, which is also in a tube, like you would make an infinity cowl, is you make it the same way. But at the end, when you're gonna graft it, you have to have a couple of things that are different. So everything is written down in the pattern, and there is, I think, a couple of tutorials. I think there are a couple of tutorials in there to guide you to make the Mobius style cowl. So if you are more of a visual learner, those tutorials are right there in the pattern. So I chose, talking about the yarn again, 3 colors of sweater from Blue Sky Fibers. They have the most beautiful selection. Is 30 colors that are available in this kind of yarn, or in this yarn. And yesterday I went to my local yarn store, Stars Hollow Yarns, that you have seen and you have heard me talking about. My local yarn store, which I absolutely love. And they have so many of the colors. So many of them. I saw them, and you can have all kinds of color combinations. So later, I'm gonna let you go to Stars Hollow Yarns, and you're gonna see the colors that they have, and you're gonna see the color combos. So later, you let me know which combo will be your favorite, but not yet. Don't leave yet. So I chose these 3 colors. So I wanted something neutral. a lot like this. Like this, I knew I wanted something neutral, but I wanted also a pop of color. So the inspiration behind this piece is that when we were dating, I had a favorite restaurant. We would go to this restaurant. It was seafood and it was absolutely beautiful. They had live music. The food was absolutely amazing. It just started to snow. It looks so pretty. After I finish recording, I'll try to take a little video. It always feels so, sorry for the change of subject. It always feels so peaceful. And when you see snow falling down, it's like you can, I don't know, it calms me down a lot. It's like, okay, breathe, breathe. It's just beautiful. Okay, back to my inspiration, to my story. So they had live music, the food was delicious. But the tables, instead of having a fabric tablecloth, they had paper tablecloths. And they would give you things to draw with. So I don't remember if it was color pencils or if it was crayons, but he would always doodle on these tablecloths, and it was this kind of drawing. So I got inspiration from one of his doodles, and I turned it into this. So again, remember this was an anniversary present. So I wanted to have that, like his touch in there. And I also wanted to bring some of my inspiration that I always look at when I design something that is Fair Isle and it's Colombia. So that's mostly what I think of every time I design something that is Fair Isle. So there were many. I don't think my lifetime would be enough to design pieces that are inspired. So again, if this is the first time, I'm from Colombia. I grew up on the Caribbean. We have indigenous communities in there. So the whole time, every single day, you would see indigenous groups with their art in the touristic areas. Sometimes it wasn't touristic really, but we would see them every day, and the inspiration was just amazing. So I wanted to design something with pops of colors. So the inspiration for this was the straps from the YU bag. So this is not like a design for the straps, but it's like the movement. So I wanted something that felt that had contrast and movement, and this is what I came up with. So you can see, I hope that you see the movement in this piece. I mean, obviously, because this is a Mobius style cowl, you can see movement in here. But I cannot even tell you how delightful it was work on this piece. First, because I was taking his doodle and transformed it. Second, because of course I was thinking of him an anniversary present, but to bring Colombia again to a piece and all the memories that come with it, it was absolutely delightful. I loved working on this piece so, so much. So when it was time to give it to him, I didn't say anything. I didn't say, anything about the inspiration. I just gave it to him. And you can tell in the face that, he kind of, you know, he kind of knew that, since it was for him, that, he had something to do with it. So talking, of course, about those early days, and it brought to us so many memories. I mean, he loved it just because of that. He started wearing it right away. So he works from home a few days. He goes to New York another days, and I was very touched when he would have the meetings, his work meetings, and he was wearing it. Like he changed his whole outfit, and wore these, and it looks so. So I took pictures. I kind of sneak when he's in his meetings. We just have to be very quiet. But I kind of sneaked in with my phone and I snapped a few pictures, and I was very touched by that. Now, this is the only piece that he's wearing to go to work. And he mentions that he says, I don't feel hot, like it's warm enough. He has to walk in the city a few blocks, and he loves it. He loves it. he he really likes it. That's I mean, when I tell you that he really likes it, and I felt also a sense of accomplishment because he likes many of the things that I make for him, but they don't last too long on because if it's, let's say, mostly wool or depending on the wool that I'm using, it feels too hot, and that's something that's just him. But this one was a hit. That was a hit. So he has used it a few times. The yarn is holding up pretty well. From the beginning, when I started working on this part of the Fair Isle, I could see that the stitch definition was very, very good. So once it was blocked, because I wet block it, and then you have to wait for that to dry before you graft it, the stitches looked really, really good. So I was very happy with the results. Now for these, it took me maybe 2 weeks, I would say, to make my final decision on this design because again I knew what I wanted, but once you have the yarn and once you're working with it, I would say, okay, I want more of this and less of that. I want more details. No, I want less details. Like when I saw that, okay, I think I got it. The pattern shows really well. The yarn shows really well, and that was it. So it took me maybe a couple of weeks to working with that original design and adjusting it until it was what it was. But this part, I never second guessed it. This this part over here, never second guessed it. Once I got it on my drawings, and then I put it on the computer for to make the charts. I never looked back twice. I never second guessed that part. I absolutely like it. So again, I think I talked too much about how much I liked it and how much he liked it, but I'm really excited, and I hope that I never lose that sense of excitement for designing the patterns and for making things that have some meaning. So I hope, guys, that you like it, that you consider making this piece. You have 3 colors that you're gonna use for this pattern. This is something that I really wanted because I want you to make it your own, right? I want you to have the possibility of making your own. So maybe this is not going to have the same meaning for you that it has for me, but you can show your favorite array of colors in a piece. Also, if you don't want this, you can just do this part, just make sure of the measurements. From here to here. I mean, you can make more repeats of this one, anything you would like to do. Just make this pattern your own and express your own creativity. Now, talking about that, I know that when I have had the testers, right, working on Fair Isle designs that require more than 2 colors, sometimes it's overwhelming to choose what colors go well together. So for some people, so a lot of people, they go to the color charts. Okay, what color complements each other and all of that. I have done that since I was painting when I was really, really young. And I love to use a color chart. But on that note, I'm also going to say that growing up where I grew up, seeing the culture that I saw, seeing the art shown in the ways I saw it shown, there is no color chart to guide anything. All colors go well together. And in the color options that I'm going to show you from Stars Hollow, you can see that. Maybe you see, what, that color with that color? And I tell you, picturing this pattern in those color combos that I show you in there is like, that's gonna look fantastic. That's gonna look so beautiful. So when I work on Fair Isle patterns, I just go with everything. I like this color, I like this color, and I like this one, and we are just gonna make it work, and it works. So I hope that you have fun working on this pattern. And you know what? Since I already mentioned that, let me take you now to Stars Hollow. And you're going to see all of the yarns that they have from Blue Sky Fibers in sweater. And then I'm going to show you the color combos. Before you leave, like after the episode is done, leave me a comment and tell me which color combo would you make. If you make this pattern, which color combo you would like to use for for these for this pattern. So before you go, sorry. At the time of this recording, I don't have some details. So Stars Hollow Yarns, it's going to have kits ready by the day of the pattern release, which is today, February the 24th. I mean, that's your today. And I might edit the video to add the color combos that they have made, or probably on the next episode, I'm gonna have those color combos here for you to see. So they are gonna do that for the pattern release. They are gonna have everything available on Stars Hollow. You can always send them a direct message when you see the color combos there. If you would like a color combo for yourself, like a kit, they're gonna have the kit of the Canterbury Cowl. I'm not sure if they are going to have that on the website, but again, you can always send them an email or a direct message and ask if there is a kit with a color combo that you like. So I'm going to let you go for a moment, and I'll see you again after you see everything that I have to show you from Stars Hollow Yarns. What do you think? My favorite color from all of them, if Blue Sky Fibers tells me or Stars Hollow Yarns, just choose one. I think the lavender one. I don't know. I have been, there are two colors that I have been leaning towards to lately for not for knitting necessarily, but for things. Lavender and like emerald greens. Um, so I would choose the lavender. I thought that color was so beautiful. It looks so delicate. And when I make my own Canterbury cowl, I think I would choose that lavender in and put it in there. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I would choose a lavender for my Canterbury cowl. So now you have the pattern ready. Again, it's on my website, it's on Ravelry, it's on Etsy. You have a discount code today. Make sure that you're subscribed to my newsletter. So probably by the time you're watching this, I already sent the newsletter with the discount code that I just sent to email subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please do so. I'm going to resend the email to new subscribers tonight, but for the next few days, I am going to be sending other emails reminding you of the coupon code for the time that I have it. I haven't thought of that part yet. That's what I'm not giving dates. So most likely it's gonna be about a week where you can use the coupon code for a 15% discount on this pattern. So just make sure that you're subscribed. I always try to pamper my email subscribers with coupon codes or something new that I share. I love that way of connecting with the community through the newsletter. So I hope that you guys enjoy that part as well. So if you make this Canterbury Cowl, please tag me on social media. If you have a private account, send me a picture, please, on my direct messages. As excited as you see me designing something, putting something out there for you, I am equally excited when each of you decide to work on a piece. Whatever piece that you choose from my patterns, I always like to see why are you making it, if it's for you, if it's for a gift, if it's for a market, or if you just want to make it. I like to see what yarn you use, the colors. I get equally excited when some of you are making the patterns. So if you allow me, I will share that also on my stories on Instagram so people can see what you're making as well. But don't forget to tag me at Jesse's Designs on Instagram or send me a picture in my direct messages. I think that's it. I think that is all I have for you today. But before I go, I am going to share with you something that you're going to see in the next segment. So, with that segment, I am going to say goodbye, but I wanted to show you this first. Now, I think I should make an episode about the podcasts that I like to watch. There are quite a few, not like that many, because there is so much time where I can really sit and work and watch a podcast. So there are a few, and one of my favorites is Young Folk Knits by Casey Apple. So I love to watch her podcast. I love the patterns that she's working with. The patterns that she's making, the yarns that she chooses. I like to see her videos of life in the farm and the pretty sunsets from her porch. But I met Casey a couple of Rhinebecks ago when I went with my daughter, and she's so sweet. She was very, very sweet. So she's one of my favorite podcasters. Now, you know how you're watching, in this case, I'm watching Casey, or when I was watching the crazy sock lady, and it's like, okay, I need to get into the sock train, or there is something that rubs on you. So with Casey, one of the things with the maker journal that I saw Casey using, every time I saw it, I would think, that's a great way to be organized. So since I knit, my daughter, she knits and she crochets, I was thinking it would be nice, if at the end of the year, we can look back at the projects that were worked on the year. It would help me also for like an end of the year episode to look at the journal and say, okay, I worked on these many patterns. And I thought it was nice to have, when you started, when you finished it, and everything. So thank you, Casey. This was a very good influence. I got my maker's journal in this color. It's on Etsy, so I'm going to link the Etsy shop on the description below so you can take a look at the maker journals that are there. So this has been actually really nice to work on. So I put in here, for example, if I'm starting a new piece, I write in there the name of the pattern, who's the designer, who am I gonna make it for. So far it's either for my husband, for a market, for a yarn company. So I put that in there. The size, it has the gauge, the needle size, what yarn, then the swatch before blocking, after blocking, the start date, the finish date, and then a lot of space for notes. So I didn't know I needed something like this until I had it in my hands. Now it's beautiful. I'm going to tell you that it's beautiful. It has two bookmarks in here, and I am loving it. I feel so organized already. And it's very nice just to see like a piece develop. So I'm looking forward to what it's gonna be here on this book by the end of the year. But I am enjoying it. So I have a lot of notebooks. You saw before this one that I use for just for YouTube, and I have a lot of little notepads and for pieces that I'm working on. So usually if I'm working on a piece, it has its own notepad. I have another piece, it's another notepad. It's very rare that I share a whole notepad for different projects because everything is in different bags or baskets. So I need things to be ready. I have the basket with the socks, then the pattern is there, and the notepad and the pen or pencil is there. It's there. So this is just like for me. So I am really looking forward to see many more maker journals in the one every year, and see everything that was accomplished or done in the day. I also add notes like how I felt, or like some kind of meaning behind the piece, or today was a great day because of this, or today that I was working on this, it was not such a good day. Just some things or situations that are happening that I want to remember. Nothing really negative. It's just some things that I think it makes us who we are, right? It makes us who we are, and that. So anyway, you're gonna see that. So the next episode is just a few minutes of me knitting project since the last time I saw you. I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you have a piece that you're working on right now, take it out and maybe we can knit together. So I'm gonna leave you with this last episode, a few minutes of knitting, some relaxing music that I'm gonna choose to go with this video, and I will see you next time. Again, before and that's what I had the notebook. And I missed that part, but I just remember. So remember the last episode, it was the 1,000 subscribers giveaway. So the winner from the previous episode that is gonna get the cotton yarn from Lion Brand and the pouch from the Sew Grove is Creative Yarnaholic. So her name is Rachel. Rachel, I'm gonna put the name in here, the handle. If you can please send me an email with your information, I will send you your giveaway present as soon as I possibly can. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. Enjoy your making time. Enjoy your cozy time. I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. I'm going to leave you now with a few minutes of knitting, and I will see you on episode 24. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends that you think are going to enjoy this episode. Happy knitting.